If you've ever been struggling on how to cut sleeve, you're in the right place. Welcome to my channel. So in today's class, we are going to demonstrate how we are going to cut the sleeve. I'm going to use one pattern. We are going to cut three-quarter sleeve, short sleeve, and long sleeve. So the measurement you need are actually 5 lines, and I've drawn them. I will explain. The top line, then the bicep, that is the largest point of your arm, you measure it. After that, your short sleeve, your elbow, your three-quarter sleeve, and your full length. So this is all the lines you need. The bicep is the largest part of your arm. That's close, is a bit closer to the shoulder. So from this particular measurement I'm using, from the shoulder to the bicep is 5 inches. Then the width of the bicep, when you are measuring the width of the bicep or the short sleeve, the elbow and three-quarter, make sure you add extra 1 inch to whatever measurement you got. So for this person, her bicep is 16 inches. I added 1 inch to make it 17. Then from the shoulder to the short sleeve line is 8 inches. I've written the 8 inches. Then the width of her arm is 15 inches. But I told you that you must add extra 1 inch for ease, especially if you are making a fabric, you are using a fabric that is not stretchy. So it will not be 16 inches. I hope you are following me. Then the elbow, you are going to measure it, work with the measurement you have. I'm going to the full from the sleeve to the elbow line is 12 inches. Then the width of the elbow, I'm going to measure it is 13 plus extra 1 inch, which makes it 14. Then the three-quarter sleeve, you're going to measure the length. Whatever you get, you write it down. Then for the width, whatever you get, add extra 1 inch. Do you understand? So add extra 1 inch. So I've already measured mine now. So it was 11 inches. I added 1 inch to make it 12. So now the full length, that is your wrist measurement. Don't make the mistake of measuring what I'm showing. No, you are going to measure your palm. You are going to measure your palm just the way you are seeing me. That's how it will be easy for you to enter. And in this measurement, you are not going to add extra 1 inch. So it's only the wrist measurement that is different. Whatever you measure when you measure your palm, that's exactly what you are going to do. Do you understand? So now the largest part of this sleeve is the bicep. So you are going to divide the bicep into two because it's on fold. Anything you get, you are going to mark it and you are going to mark it down. So the largest part is the bicep. On this case is 17 inches. Now there's no extra 1 inch. I'm going to divide it into two. That's 8.5. So I'm just using that 8.5. I'm marking it down. And you're going to rule a straight line. The straight line will end from the straight line will start from your wrist measurement or your full sleeve measurement and it will end at the bicep. Just look at what I'm doing. It's very simple. And this particular tutorial is timely and it's timeless because you always need sleeve except you are cutting armless sleeve. So you're just going to measure the full line, you connect it. So now, so after you've gotten that, the next thing you want to do, you are going to, from that edge of that bicep line, draw a slanted line and it will end at the edge of that top line. Just look at what I'm doing. Just make sure you draw it like this. Let it connect it from the edge of that bicep and let it stop at that top line. Good. After you are done, now that particular line, you are going to divide it into two. You are going to measure it first of all. You are going to measure it to get the measurement. Whatever it is you get, just divide it into two. All you have to do is to just hold the edge and fold your tape roll into two. When you fold it into two, whatever you get, measure it and mark it accordingly. This is where the whole trick comes in. Because if you remember when we were sewing bustier, our front bust is different from our back bust. That is why it's very important for your sleeve to know how to draft a proper sleeve so it will sit well. So you're not going to divide that half again, you divide it into two. So essentially we are dividing that slanted line into four parts. That's what it means. But we first of all divided it into two. We're not going to divide it into two again. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So now you've got it. So it's 4 lines, the top, the down, then the 3 lines at the middle. Do you understand? So after doing that now it's time for us to now draft the front part of our sleeve, the upper part. This is the front that we're doing. So in order for us to draft the front part of our sleeve, you see that first line, that first visible line, you go up by half an inch. Do you understand? You go up by half an inch. We are drafting the front. Don't forget, you go up by half an inch. Then you now come to the down part. The second to the last line before the edge of that bicep, you go down by half an inch. Good. I'm happy you're following. So you're not going to take your curve rule. You can use your armhole curve or this. I'm using this, but if you have an armhole curve, it will be better. So you're going to curve it. Make sure the line touches that point, touches that midpoint, Do you understand? So it will touch three points. Good. If it's curved like this, your own is curved like this, you are doing well. So you're now going to turn your ruler from that midpoint. Make sure it touches that down part, that 0.5 inch you measured down. Make sure it touches it. Then it will not touch the edge of that bicep line. Make sure it touches the edge. Arrange your ruler properly. It must touch the edge. Good. Now our sleeve is taking shape. So in order for you not to get confused, mark it. Just indicate FF. It shows that this is front. That's the front sleeve. So on this same pattern, let's cut the back now. Let's draft the back. So on that same line, for the back, go up by 0.25. Can you see the difference? And come down by 0.25. So that's basically the difference. For the front, you go up by 0.5. For the back, you come up by 0.25 and you go down by 0.25. It's very easy. So you are now going to connect it the way you connected the front. Make sure it hits the three line. You connect it like that. So it means the front is much more curvier than the back. That's the difference. I hope you are getting. If you are not getting it, please rewatch it again, because this video, there's no point in learning that bustier is the front of bust is different from the back bust. Then after learning that, your work will not be spoiled because of your drafting of sleeve. Can you see it that is not as curvy as the back, as the front? So you are now going to connect it again. Let it connect to that 0.25 mark and connect it to the edge of the bicep. So we're almost done. Good. Can you see it? Yep. So now it is taking shape. So all you have to do now is you just go to the short sleeve, divide it into two and mark it, because we already marked the bicep. You don't need it again. You go to the elbow, divide it into two, mark it. You go to the three-quarter sleeve, whatever it is you measure, divide it into two, and the long sleeve, divide it into two. So you see on this pattern, if it was three-quarter you're looking for, you stop at three-quarter. If it was elbow length sleeve you're looking for, you stop at elbow length sleeve. So basically drafted all kinds of sleeve, whether it's short sleeve, three-quarter sleeve, and we are good to go. I hope you're enjoying this tutorial. If you're enjoying this tutorial, kindly like, share and subscribe to this channel. So you just mark it as sleeve is taking shape. So after marking it now, this is how it's looking. So you can notice that there's a tracing wheel here. It is very important that we have a tracing wheel, because the front curve and the back curve is not the same, and you know that the pattern paper is on fold. So in order for us to get the back curve, you are going to use your tracing wheel to trace out the back curve alone. Please don't confuse yourself. Trace out the back curve alone. If you know how to use tracing wheel, you know that if you trace it out, if you draw it on it, it will show the lines at the other side. So you'll be able to trace out the back curve. So that's what I'm doing now. So you're just going to trace it gradually. Good. So after you're done, now you keep it aside, then you just cut out your sleeve and you stop at the bicep. So now you are just going to cut it. Make sure you stop at that bicep line and you just cut it straight like that before you open your sleeve. So by the time you open your sleeve, because we want to trace out the curve for the back pattern, by the time you open your sleeve, if you do your tracing wheel very well, let me show you how it will look like. Can you see those dotted lines? Good. So you are now going to use your pencil and just trace it out, so it will help you and get the back pattern. And the beautiful thing about pattern drafting is that you can keep this sleeve and use it next time, especially if it's a returning client. You can use it to cut her other patterns. So now that we are done, so for this part we are going to focus on the front curve. So you are just focusing on the front curve. So that's what I'm cutting out like that. The front curve, I'll just cut it gently, just the front, don't make mistake. Then you just cut the back like that. So in order for you not to get confused, after drawing your pattern like that, you can indicate which one is the front, which one is the back. But basically you will know if you are drafting it for long, you will know, because the front is usually more curvier than the back. So you know which one is the front and which one is the back. So I'm gonna to draft a sleeve with it, and I added half inch round and half inch on top. That's all. Bye.